DesiBlitz.com.
Hi, I'm Cyrus Todiwala.
I'm Jagdish, I'm a photographer and writer.
My name is Stella Atwell. I run the Midlands Pub Association.
And you're watching me today on DesiBlitz.com.
What the story of the Desi Pubs is a story about how the first generation of migrants to this country settled and grew up. And I know from my father, he arrived in the 1950s. And for him, when he arrived, he was living in a shared house. So going to the pub was a way to get out somewhere.
I chose to get involved simply because I think it's brilliant and that more people need to know about it. And when you do a little bit of the history and how it all evolved and what the people went through that came as the first migrants and what they have achieved now, I think it's a story that the British people do need to know about.
I think we have a stand in the community. We're very much community pubs. We have people coming to our pubs where the grandfather comes, the father comes, the son comes and the grandkids come. So we are, I think, an integral part of the community. We sponsor a lot of programs within the community. And also, I think it's somewhere where people can come away and relax and all the pressures that they have. They can come and sit and eat here. We're not very expensive, but also I think it's just trying to keep the community going. Lots of pubs are closing, and then it does leave questions about how the community communicate with each other.
Desi pubs in this particular region, the influence of the Desi pub in this particular region, I think, is big. Okay, the fact the Desi pub may not have influenced the rest of Britain yet. It's going to. I can sense it. It is going to spread gradually. There is a certain difference between the people who might open it in other parts of the country as opposed to the people here. The people here came predominantly to find sustenance, to hopefully send some money back for their families back home, but adopted this as their chosen land.
I think originally it was a pub landlord would cook a pot of curry in his kitchen for his friends, and that has progressed and people said, well, we want food, and certainly in the last 25 years it's reached a phenomenal stage where we've kind of taken over the traditional English fish and chips. And people like Indian food. They like the combination of curries as mixed grills, and so it's a bit like a barbecue food in a kitchen.
What's interesting about the Desi Pubs is that although they're run by people from Asian backgrounds, mostly Punjabi, Gujarati, but they're used by everybody. And the interesting story is that they start really after the industrial factories decline in the area, and they take over pubs in quite hard places, quite run down, often inflicted by violence, and they take over these difficult places and they grow and they blossom with the support of local community. And it's not just the local Indian and Asian community, everybody helps.
We've had lots of issues as my brothers owned two of the pubs over the last 2-3 years with staff, and what we realised was that within the industry itself, there's a great shortage of members of good chefs. So we decided to put an association together where we would share resources, and also we wouldn't pinch staff from other pubs to give them greater reward, to make sure that we protected our business.
Because the word Desi to many of us Indians means cheap, poor, bad quality, whatever. We Indians always disregard the greatness of our own culture. We always dub it down. We are never proud in many respects. We always look down upon it. We settle for a level that some other cultures will not settle for. The Desi word itself is evoking certain sentiments. It's evoking a little bit of, how would I say, drama. At the same time, it evokes passion, and it evokes this very strong South Asian culture of hard work, endeavour, resilience and success.
We've got, with the government changes on bringing people from overseas to work here, They now require a fair amount of money in their account, and their wages have to be a certain amount before the government will grant them a work permit. The other challenges that we have are with the legislation with food industry, the allergies, and there is now talk about every menu has to have every mortal thing listed so you know exactly what you're eating. And the other thing is landlords are getting older. A lot of the Desi pub landlords are hitting 60. Some of their kids will take over the business.
A lot of the food you get in a lot of places comes from Bangladeshi culture rather than Indian culture, and I think what's really interesting about the Desi pub is it reminds me of watching Cheers and those American soaps, which is based on the American-Irish culture of coming together after work and drinking. So it's like a mixture of the Irish-American pub with the Indian roadside cafe coming together, and it's really that type of communal getting together after work just to sit and it's a different style of cooking and eating and getting together.
Well, for me, when I see a tandoor in a pub even, it is exciting because there is nothing quite like food produced fresh from a tandoor on a plate with a nice hot naan, and if nobody is watching, then an extra slathering of butter on it.
I tend to have the paneer and the dal, really.
I love beer, no two ways about it. We've grown up with beer all our lives. But I do, when it's Indian food, I do like a glass of wine. I prefer the younger, fruitier, lighter wines, be they red, blue or pink or white, rosés or whites or reds. But I do like a good glass of wine. I think it goes extremely well with Indian food, though it will take us another 15 years to convince the British public that wine and Indian food does have a place in the encyclopedia of fine dining.